Good morning, beautiful people of the world. Good morning. It is Monday, February 23rd, 2026. It's somebody's birthday today. It's got to be my bestie's birthday today. That's getting married in New Orleans. I know her birthday is coming up. It's this week. It's either today or tomorrow. My mind has went completely blank. Oh boy, and you all, it is freezing in Chicago. It's only, when I left the house, it was like 19 degrees. It's 27 degrees in the car, and it's snowing. It's not a lot of snow. Not like what New York and Boston is getting ready to get, or is getting. They are getting plummeted. If you are in the DC area, the New York, Pittsburgh, oh, they getting hit like a mug, baby. They are getting hit. So, thank God we're not getting that. But it's cold. It's cold out here. So, the plan was, before I found out I had to get this garage door opener, this garage system, rather, the plan was that I was going to get a remote starter on this car, right? And this costs about $400. Well, that it went out the window. I won't be getting no remote starter on the car because I don't have $400 just to, just to give like that, because I got to get the garage door thing, the system. I went on and looked at some on YouTube, and I think I want to get the one that has the camera so you can see who's in your garage, if somebody's in the garage, an animal or anything. So I want to get that. So every time you have plans for money to do something else comes up, which is good that you have the money if you have the money to do it. I just can't believe that it's snowing. We were in the 60s last week, and week before last, I saw people on the lakefront with shorts on, because that's how warm it was last week. This weather is crazy. But I know we get Indiana, which is not far from me, they're getting hit. So we're getting some of this blowing lake effect snow. Anywho, happy Monday. I hope you all had a great weekend. Hope you did something cool. Hopefully you weren't snowed in. Hopefully you were able to get out. But I know that side of the country is getting hit. I hope nobody is in Mexico, because I saw that there's some American tourists over there. They're telling them to shelter in place because their leader was killed. And I didn't hear the whole story, but somebody was killed over there, and the people are upset. So, yeah. I thought I was done putting on big coats. Thought I was done. This is how people get pneumonia, because the weather switches up. You take off clothes, less clothes, all of this, all of that, I don't know. It's weird. But thanks be to God that we can see another day where we can give God some glory and praise. Update, my mom's knee is still swollen. Not as swollen as it was, but swollen. She still can't really, she can walk on it when she initially gets up. She's talking about the pain that she's in. So she can't get Christopher again. So I got to get him an Uber going home, which this makes no sense because I'm here before 6 o'clock. And technically, I could get off at 2:30 and I can get him myself. But these knuckleheads at work, they so scared to make a move, to make a change. Nevertheless, her knee, going back to her, she's made me mad because I told her Saturday, I said, let's go to the ER. I said, you're 81. They will take you right away. You go in there, and all you got to do is tell them that you failed, which you did. I said, and they will take you right back there because of your age, because you could have broke your hip, you could have broke whatever. I said this Saturday. My sister was off Saturday, my niece was off, my nephew off, and I was off. No. I'm going to just call my doctor on Monday and see if I can get a referral. I keep telling her over and over again. It don't work like that. You're not going to just call your doctor and get a referral like that. It don't work like that. You cannot tell my mother nothing. She wants to be argumentative. She doesn't want to listen. I said, go to the ER. I said, in the ER, they will give you an x-ray. I said, I'm telling you this. I know. When I had the ear infection, the nurse practitioner, she made me go for that x-ray or whatever it was for my ear. The attending doctor didn't do shit. Okay, didn't do shit. But told me to go see a specialist, a ENT doctor, and that was it. That was it. So I said, do not go to urgent care. They cannot give you an x-ray in urgent care. Go to the ER. I don't want to go to the ER. All them sick people sitting up in the ER. I said, put on a fucking mask and go to the ER. What do you think you are? You think you're 22? You almost 82. You have fallen twice. Then she tells me yesterday, there's nothing. I told her, I said, Mama, you don't even have to get up and cook the wings on the air fryer. Well, I want to cook some wings and stuff. Won't listen. Then she tells me yesterday when she was in the kitchen that her knee felt like it was about to buckle again and she's about to fall again. Would you please get somewhere and sit down, lady? I said, you don't know if you got a fracture in that knee. Then she talking about, I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm just going to drive myself over there. What? I said, why would you drive yourself over there when you have us? Do you think you're going to be able to bend that knee down them porch steps without assistance? I said, what is wrong? I'm just not understanding. I'm not understanding. I said, you can barely walk. What are you talking about? She just really got on my goddamn nerve this weekend. And you can't tell her shit. Because it's going to be an argument. Can't tell her nothing. I don't want to go to the ER and sit up there with all them sick people. I'm just going to keep working on it. It went down a lot. I said it's going to be snowing tomorrow. It's going to be slippery. Where do you think you're going? You can't even drive. If you can't go drive to go get him, you can't drive over there to the hospital. What are you doing? We're all here. My nephew was off. Between my nephew and my son Chris, they could have held her and got her down the porch steps. Won't listen, won't do nothing, and won't listen. Well, if it's not, it should be better by Tuesday. Okay. I ain't got to the point now. I shut up. I said, they'll take you right back there and give you an x-ray. I said, I know you don't look 82, and they might not think you're 82, but you're 82, lady. Next month, you'll be 82. You have fallen twice. There's a fucking problem. The first time she fell, she was taking some paper towels down the basement. Again, she missed the step, or what halfway, and she fell face first on her knees. This time, she missed the step, or either her leg. I think her legs go out, going maybe down steps. I don't know. Leg went out. Leg went out. Buckled. She fell. Cat jumped out of her arm. I told her, so the cat could have scratched you. You could have been hurt that way. She fell up against the wall. I said, falling, just you ain't falling and hitting one thing. You falling and you hurt your shoulder. You falling, you hurt. You could have broke your arm. I'm just at the point now that I'm just like, you know what? I told my mother this over and over again about my own knee, how my knee buckles. You know, it happens to me, and when it happens, you will fall. It will make you feel like you're going to fall. It will buckle. That's why I'm going to get an MRI on this knee to see what's going on with this knee. You know, my foot, same thing. Cannot tell her nothing. She will not do it. Nothing that I tell her to do. Nothing. I said, why you wait till we all got to go back to work? I said, we could have did this on Saturday. We could have did it today. Why you wait? Because you won't do nothing that I tell you to do. You won't do nothing that I tell you to do. And then, like I said, then it's an argument. You know, then it's an argument. She wants to argue, and you know, then we ain't talking to each other, and all of this old stupid shit. So I'm done. Your knee, you figure it out. I've tried. I've tried. Yesterday, we're getting ready to leave. She's standing there. I locked the door. I said, why? I said, we have a key. We can lock it. I said, get upstairs. We're going to make sure you get up the steps. Get in your room. No, just go ahead. I said, go upstairs. We want to make sure you get up the steps. We will lock the door. No, I got to just always want to fucking argue. Finally. Only because Chris said, Grandma, go ahead. We can lock the door. Why she don't trust us to lock the damn door? Been locking that door for over 50-some years. I told her, I said, I cannot take off work. I cannot take off work. You had us all here. Everybody was at her house Saturday. All you had to do was get your clothes on and go. I said, you were dressed. She gets up and dresses every day. You know, she don't sit in her pajamas. I guess that's what I feel like I do about putting on, you know, cooking in pajamas and stuff. My mama don't cook in pajamas. She have on a t-shirt, some sweatpants, or some jeans or something like that. You know, she gets up and dresses every day. All she had to do was get her clothes on and put her shoes on. And the Trinity Hospital is literally 5 minutes away. That's why when y'all see me leave my house, because it's right there in the area of where we live. We've been going over there. I had Christopher at that hospital. We've been going to that hospital and them doctors forever, over 40-some years. She thinks she can just get a referral and get an x-ray. No, you can't. But if you had went through the ER, like I said, and told them, and they would have examined you, they would have given you an x-ray based on how your knee looked. I said, I told told her the same day that she fell. I said, we can go to the ER. We gonna be there all night. So what? Listen here, I don't give a fuck about going to the ER. I put a mask on, I go. When my ear was fucked up, I'm not going back to urgent care. Y'all know all the money that I owe them, like $600. And I know it's over in collections. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. If I'm sick, I'm not going to urgent care. Urgent care don't do shit. I'm going to the ER. You don't want to sit up there with sick people. Well, what the fuck do you think you are? You sick too. Just hard-headed. And yesterday when I told her that, I saw it all in her face. So I just shut up. I said, you could have had this done. You could have had this done. You could have had an x-ray. You could have found out. I said, your knee might be fractured. I said, but you won't do nothing. So after a while, when I saw it in her face and I knew where it was going, I just stopped talking. Just, you want to suffer, then suffer. Ain't no need to suffer. It's too much. You ain't got to go up the road. You ain't got to go downtown to the doctor. You ain't got to do none of that. And you ain't driving. You going to go over there to the hospital and do what? You think they going to say, oh, Miss Cotton, well, yeah, come on in. We don't have no other patients. We'll give you an x-ray. It's really snowing now. I don't know what this is, like some snow showers. And anyway, her doctor is flaky as a fuck anyway. I told her to switch doctors and get my doctor. Think she's done it? No. Then she complains about her, how she don't really like her, that she's flaky. She's the same. I went to her doctor because my doctor was on vacation. I went to her doctor when I had all that redness in my foot. She told me that I had gout and prescribed some medicine for me. I never did take that medicine because I said, I called my uncle, the one who passed, and my other uncle. I have 3 uncles that have gout. I called all 3 of them and sent them the picture. They was like, that ain't gout. Now they ain't even doctors, but they suffer from gout. They was like, if you had gout, you wouldn't be able to do nothing. They talking about how painful gout is. I went to my doctor after my uncles told me that it wasn't gout. My uncle who passed, I was on the phone with him. I sent him a picture. I said, what does this look like to you? He said, not gout. He said, that's not gout. He said, I'm telling you, that's not gout. I called the pharmacy. I said, you can discontinue that medicine then. I said, I don't want that. She gave me the wrong, she prescribed and said that I had gout. She didn't give me no tests or nothing like that. What the fuck is going on right here? Did the truck stop? Okay, I don't know what's going on right here. I'm not understanding why he's over here and the other cars are right here. I'm assuming his truck stopped. He got his flashers on. Yeah, I think his truck stopped. He's just sitting there. Anywho, she told me to take this medicine for gout. And when I went to my doctor said, you don't have gout. I said, yeah, I know. I said, I sent my picture to my uncles and they all said I didn't have gout. Because they do. 3 of my mother's brothers suffer from gout. 3. This is why I'm going for this ultrasound, because we want to find out why I have this redness in my legs. So her doctor is the one who told me that I had gout. I said, your doctor is flaky. She don't know what she's talking about. I said, she's very nice. I said, but you yourself have said that she don't know what she's doing. I said, switch. Go to my doctor. I said, my doctor, it'd be on it. If she switched, you switched. I don't say nothing else about that either. Because like I said, it's always an argument. My sister can come over and tell her the very same thing that I tell her. She'll do it. Me, she's combative. Then she gonna have the nerve to say the other day, she was telling me something about my sister's shoulder. My sister went and got an x-ray or something done. She'll say, one thing about Cherie, she will go and get herself checked out. I said, yeah, me too. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing about you. I was just saying what she. Well, what are you implying? Yeah, she gonna get herself checked out. It's exactly what you should be doing. Why you sitting here want to argue and not? Y'all know I gotta go get this dumbass key. I shall return. Freezing out here. The guy that works in the office that I get the key from, he was like, I'm sick of this weather. I'm like, hey. I say, you and me both. It's cold. He was like, I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it. I said, I know. I know. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. right back. God dog. I don't know if y'all heard me hollering because I'm like, damn, it's cold out here. Shit. Damn. Blew my little wig back. Y'all don't wear no wig, but got two remotes up here. Whew. Anywho. It's a mess out here. It's a mess out here. But anyway, so that's that with her. So, you know, I pray that it gets better. You know, but I don't think she's gonna be able to get him the rest of the week because she can't walk on it, and she certainly can't drive on it. So this week I will have to get him an Uber there and back. It's gonna be expensive as fuck, but you know, and this is what I'm saying. When people when a person wants to sit up and talk about my son, my son, my son. Okay. Yeah, you want to holler that, but you ain't got none of the expenses that go with Christopher. Anywho, I really don't have a subject to talk to y'all about. I'm just a little frustrated. I'm frustrated because I'm here early and I can't leave to get him, and I gotta pay with it because it makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. It makes no sense because I'm here every day early. But what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go upstairs and talk to my deputy. I'm going to say, listen, I got a situation going on. My mother has fallen. She picks Chris up from school. I need to get him, or I have to get him an Uber. I said, which can be complicated in the evening, in the afternoon. Is there any way just this week, just Thursday, today through Thursday? Let's say Friday, I can't. You know, it's impossible to get him because he get out of school at 1:45 on Friday. And I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna ask. Go up there and I'm going to ask. I'm going to say, this is what I got going on. Can I leave today, tomorrow, today through Thursday? I might not even say today through Thursday. I might just say the whole week. So I'm here. can you all just do it this week? You all don't want to change it. Do a schedule change. I said, but this is what I got going on. I don't get it. I don't get it. So I'm gonna go up there and ask them. I'm gonna say, is there anywhere possible I can leave the rest of the week, the rest of this week at 2:30? I think it's one day this week he got something else going on where he gets out at noon. That day I won't be able to get him either. I'll have to get him an Uber that day. But today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, she might be able to get him the day that he get out early. I don't know. Or if not, again, I'll get him an Uber. I told him today, I said, if I have to get you an Uber this afternoon, I said, you got to stand on the corner so they can see you. So I'm gonna go up there and ask them. All I can do is ask and say, this is my situation. I am here every day. You all can go look. Y'all can go look and see what time I punch in. I'll see what they say. Because to me, it's just dumb at this point. It's just really, really dumb. Don't make no sense. I'm just a little frustrated, but I am going to read our reading today. I know I don't do it on the weekend because I tend to forget, but I will do it for today. Do that now before I forget. This is from the book Be Still and Know, and today's reading what's today? February 22nd. He hears. This is the confidence we have in approaching God, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. And if we know that he hears us, whatever we ask, we know that we have what we ask of him. 1 John chapter 5, verses 14 and 15 from the NIV version. God loves his children. He is a good father who is always available. He is never bothered or inconvenienced by your needs. He wants to hear from you, and he loves it when you ask for help. In all circumstances, call on him. He is delighted by your voice. What do you want God to hear today? What do you want God to hear today from you? And then from the book of Acts of Faith from Ayanla Van Zant, today's reading is deal with yourself as an individual worthy of respect and make everyone else deal with you the same way. Nikki Giovanni. Deal with yourself as an individual worthy of respect and make everyone else deal with you the same way. And today's reading is, many of us live from day to day without a real sense of purpose. We know we want more out of life, but we can't seem to put a finger on exactly what it is. We believe our fate is due to a lack of career, money, or the freedom to do what we want. Actually, what we may be longing for, something on my face. Actually, what we may be longing for is a personal mission. When you have a mission, you have a core passion that gives you vision. With the vision of your mission, you move gracefully through your goals. When you have a mission, you wholeheartedly enhance a task and you remain focused until the task is done. When you have a mission, you feel valued, worthy, and respectable. You manage to keep your head up and others notice you. What is your mission? Is it teaching? Is it teaching, healing, painting, driving? Perhaps it is building a snowman, counting pea pods, or keeping others on their mission. Respect your life enough to pursue a meaningful mission. Respect yourself enough to give yourself something to do. And the affirmation is, I am mission-minded and focused on a goal. Okay, so that's the reading. I feel like something is crawling on my face. All down here, I don't know. So you guys, that's the reading. I'm gonna let you all go. I'm gonna cut this video off early. It's very, very early. It's not even 5:50 yet. It's 5:49 and I am here. And I left out early because I thought that I was gonna have to play with the garage. I would be so glad when I get the money to go get this thing. I went on not Home Depot, I went on YouTube and looked up some of the ones that I need. And they were not that expensive. They were like $179, $200, something like that. I just don't have the money right now to go get it. I really don't. But anyway, I don't think it's gonna be no $500. It might be like close to maybe 2 or 3 or something like that. But I am gonna get the one that has the camera in it. And I'm gonna call him today and ask him. I'm almost tempted to ask him if he could get it for me, because I really don't know. She showed me, I took a picture of the one that I need to get, but I ain't gonna do that, because I don't know him well enough to do that. I don't know him. He might take my money and take my, and run off with it. I mean, I don't think he would do that, but my trust level for people is it's real, real low. It's real low. That's why I had a second person come out. And I told him that I did, because I'm just skeptical of people. Because people, especially men, I'm not very trustworthy of men. Men lie so much to you. They stand in your face and just lie. Tell you that something is this and it ain't that. You know, they just lie. So I'm just gonna get it myself when I get the money. I'm just gonna go get it. Chris and I'll go get it. Chris is a big help when he wants to be. You're gonna give this more time. We're not gonna argue today, are we? Because he did something dumb last night, caused a whole, I don't even know how he did this. All the cats think the cat feeder. All I asked him to do, I said, go in there and pull it up and make sure they got enough water. I didn't tell him to touch nothing. I didn't say nothing about the cat food. But I'm going to end up taking that thing down in the basement. Because when I can take that table down, I don't even want it up there on my floor, on my hardwood floor. That water and stuff, I'm going to take that downstairs. We're going to move it. Because I'm getting tired of that thing being up there on my floor, on my hardwood floor. I'm gonna move it. Move it to the basement. That's what I'm gonna do. But he's a big help when he wants to be. When he don't have an attitude, you know, he could be a huge help. So I'll just wait. I'll just wait and go get it with Christopher. That's what I'll do. So like I said, I did look it up on YouTube. And somebody was in the store, they were shopping for one. They were showing how much it cost. But I got to pay him to put it in. And I don't have the money to pay him to put it in. And I don't have the money to buy it. So I'm just going to have to wait. But I got to call my other friend because he told me to let him know what they said when it came out. So I'm going to let him know. Because it just don't make sense to buy that hoverboard or that whatever it is, that thing that connects it. It just don't make sense, you know. Excuse me. I'm just gonna get a whole new system with a camera, one that's wireless and one that will connect, you know. So that's the plan. So I was saying that to say that I left out early because I didn't know if the garage, if I was going to have to play with it or walk around and close the garage door, or I don't know. So I can't wait to get my money. Hopefully I'll get my money next week. A week after. He said, just let me know when you're ready. I said, okay. The whole thing letting him know when I'm ready. Then you got to make sure he's available to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, that kind of thing. So anyway, y'all. It is what it is. It's always something going on. But as far as my mama, she's just hard-headed. She won't do anything I tell her to do. She won't listen. I don't feel like having no argument with nobody about their body or what they need to do. I just don't feel like doing it. You know, I just don't. I just don't feel like it. And I can look in her face and tell when, you know, she don't want to hear what I'm saying. So I just shut up. I had told her 1,000 times, stay out that basement. There's no need for you to go down in that basement. I gotta go. I live here. I gotta go in my basement. Okay. Well, how's that working for you? How's that working for you going down in the basement? Because you've fallen twice going down in the basement. Well, how's it working? You keep hurting yourself going down the basement. Now, it ain't like this had happened like numerous times, but this is the second time that it's happened. First time, same thing. She wouldn't even let me see the bruises on her knee. I said, let me see what they look like. I never did see what they look like. And because she has diabetes and she has the neuropathy, that's what happens. Sometimes your leg will go out, or if you got a torn meniscus or whatever, your leg will buckle. I know, I get the same thing. So now you went down in the basement and your leg went out on you. And this is the same knee that she had twisted one time and she was in a lot of pain. And her doctor told her when she fell the first time, her doctor told her, you are so lucky that you did not break anything. She had a bone density test a while ago, like I said, a couple of years ago. She needs to have another one just to see, does she have some type of brittle bones? You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's 82. I would think that you know, her bones are, you know, not the same as they were when she was in her 60s or whatever. But she needs to have another one. But why she thinks she can just walk in and get a referral like that, I don't know why she think that. And I just wasn't finna go back and forth with her. I just wasn't. And I told my sister, I said, if you tell her to do what I just tell her to do, I said, she'll do it. With me, she wants to, it's always this with her. Always. You know, we get along fine when you ain't telling her something. When I'm not telling her something. But if I'm telling her something, it's always this. And I get sick of that. Between her and Christopher, I get sick of it. You understand what I'm saying? I just get sick of it. I try to tell Christopher stuff. Christopher don't want to listen. Try to tell her stuff. She don't want to listen. And I'm not arguing with nobody. I'm not arguing with nobody. I'm not. I'm just not. I just shut down completely on you. And that's how I've been doing her. I just shut down. I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing. This is the way you want to do it. This is the way you want to handle it. Fine. Do it your way. You can't never listen to nothing that I say. Hey, on you. On you. You cannot drive on that knee. You can't walk on that knee. And why would you let us leave the house knowing that you got to try to get up these flights of steps to your room and not making sure that we make sure you're good? And then yesterday evening when we was going up the step, I don't know what she had in her hand. I said, why do you have that in her hand? Because she had been telling Christopher to take her iPad, her water bottle and stuff upstairs. That's another thing I told her. I told her this a long time ago. I said, you have too much crap in your hand when you going down the steps, up the steps. I told her about going down there washing. She throw the bags down the basement steps. I said, when you get your clothes out the dryer, I said, just leave them in the basket. We'll get them. Chris will get them. Finally, she has Chris take the baskets upstairs. Her towels and stuff like that. Finally. Finally. I'm gonna call my deputy and ask him. I'm gonna let you all go. I'll see you all tomorrow. I've been trying to come live since last week. I ain't been able to do it. I just ain't been able to do it. It's too much going on. I get home too late because I be at her house late. You know, I'm gonna try to go live one day this week before the end of the week. I was watching a YouTuber. She was talking about how she makes, YouTube pays her more than her job, and she got a government job. And I'm thinking to myself, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird to me. She does get a lot of views on her videos, but I know I don't. And that's probably why I know I don't, like, we get paid today from YouTube. I don't make a lot of money off of YouTube. If I do a live and come live, I get a lot of views, I'll make the money. But not off of these videos. Not off of even my video where I show my birthday gifts. I never get 1,000 views. Never. Never. I think YouTube is changing, and I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. But I think YouTube is changing. I think people are not watching fashion hauls because there's a lot of retailers now, fashion retailers, that are not even online. A lot of them are closed. It's more vlogging that people are watching. People are not going to sit here and watch me talk about this, that, or the other. The faithful ones, those of you all that like this kind of content, you will. But these videos never, ever, ever get 1,000 views. Never. I can put up a short video and get 1,000. And that's been kind of sketchy too. So it just all depends. So anyway, I'll keep you all posted about everything, okay? Pray for my mama. Pray for her. You know, maybe she'll listen one day to me and stop wanting to get attitude and listen. But I after a while, I'm just not going to say nothing. Because she could have been at that ER on Saturday. We were all home. Everybody was off. You got the whole family here. Could have all went and sat there with her. My sister was like, I'll take her. She was like, 'cause I ain't doing nothing. I was waiting on the garage people. I would have met them over there. Sat there all day Saturday, didn't do nothing. Sunday, didn't do nothing. Now you gonna wait till the work week start, where we all gotta go back to work, to say you gonna call your doctor and get a referral. Okay. Okay. It'd be better by Tuesday. Okay. You know, you an expert. You know about knees. Okay. Your body. Your body. Your body, you want to do it your way? I want to go sit there with all these sick people. Hey. Your thing, Chicken Wing. I know it's not broke. I just looked at her. Because I know if it was broke, I wouldn't even be able to move it. You should see how when she gets up to walk, how she's walking. Then I asked her, I said, where is the cane that you had? Yes, you were walking on the cane. Oh, it's that cane. That cane is too heavy. I said, well, where's the other one that we had, the silver one? Oh, I don't even know where that. I said, where is the cane? I don't even know where it is. Well, she said it was upstairs. I said, why aren't you walking with the cane? It's too heavy. So let me get this straight. You would rather not walk with the cane because it's too heavy? I said, the cane gives you stability for you to be able to walk. You know, yesterday when I saw her without the cane, she didn't have it. And then Saturday, when they all are leaving, she talking about, help me get up. I said, where are you going? I'm going to walk them out. Why? Why are you walking? I said, you going to the door to do what? You act like they going back to France or something. You ain't going to see them again for another year or so. Why are you going to the door? It's just, to me, it's stupid to me. It's just stupid. I said, Mama, you don't have to walk them out. Nope, she got to walk them out. Everybody got a key to get in and out, to lock up, to get in. Why are you going to the door? They said goodbye to you back here. Why are you getting up? I came over there yesterday. I said, hey, I can get us something to eat. What you want to eat? Well, I set out some chicken and fries. Why? Why? You don't have to get up and cook nothing. Oh, no. Well, I got to fix Chris something to eat. I just shut up. I just shut up. Anyway. She'll listen to nothing I tell her anyway. Like I said, she like to argue with me. My sister, she'll listen to her. My niece, she'll listen to them. She'll listen to her. She's so nice and sweet to them. But me, oh, she always, all the time. It's always, you know, snapping, all, you know. So I let her do it whatever way she want to do it. So when she kept saying, oh, I'm going to get a referral. I'm going to get a referral. Okay. I didn't know you was the queen of Trinity Hospital, that you could just walk in and get a referral. I wanted to tell her last night, don't work like that. But I said, nope. Let her find out on her own. Be quiet, because it's going to be an argument. I know it ain't broke. You don't know if it's fractured. You don't know if you're in tour or something. You don't know that. And you don't know that because you won't go to the fucking doctor, to the ER, and let them look at it. Because that's what I asked. I said, why weren't you holding on to the basket? I had the cat in my hand. Anyway, y'all, I just can't. I just cannot. I just cannot. I can't. People want to do what they want to do with their bodies, and I'm going to let them. That go for everybody. Same thing with Christopher and his hair. I'm sick of that. I told him yesterday, I said, on the way home, he brought up something about something that didn't make sense. I just got quiet. That's why you bringing that up again. Anyway, y'all. It's Monday. But y'all have a good, blessed day. And I'll see you real soon. Okay? Peace.